Kordis is a CFO as a software platform that gives startup founders and business owners an all-in-one tool that does simplified forecasting and automated analysis. Additionally, at Kordis, we found that one of the major things that startups or business owners lack is a serious financial team. So we also offer a service where we will manage all your QuickBooks, which will be done by a CPA. We will reconcile all your accounts. We will manage vendor invoices, and we'll do weekly or biweekly calls with you so that we can review what's going on with your financials and look forward and backward. So you'll get access to a bookkeeper who is reconciling all of your accounts quicker, more accurate than it's been done in the past. You also get access to a fractional CFO who's helping you look forward and helping you forecast while also getting access to our platform. So what our platform does is it gives you the ability to do, as I said, simplified forecasting and automated analysis. So inside of Kordis, you'll have a dashboard that will be tracking your KPIs. So you'll see here we have revenue, gross profit, net income. If you're not someone who wants to look at numbers or not a finance person, the dashboard was designed to make it customizable for you to actually just look at charts and graphs. So for startups, the cash runways can be very important. What we do a little bit differently is we will look at your most recent data inside of QuickBooks. We will pull the most recent month. Then based on which scenario you pick, we will choose that and forecast out cash. So instead of using an average or looking backwards or trying to just project out your cash burn and giving you a cash runway, we'll use the most recent balance sheet data we have, and then we'll forecast out forward based on what scenario you choose, which I'll go into more detail here shortly. So inside this, as you can see your KPIs, we want you to be able to track visually what's going on in your business too. So right now I don't have too much data in there. So as you can see, the actual is very low compared to the planned. We want to give you the ability to constantly track your business and see what's going on. So inside of Kordis, you have the ability to link to QuickBooks, and this will update every single hour, pulling in new information. So this is very, very simplified. So you don't have to worry about going in and making sure things sync. If you change something in QuickBooks and you want to see the immediate update, you can go in and press sync now. Otherwise, as things get updated daily, weekly, etc., every hour, Kordis will be pulling in that information. So this is very, very simplified. And just for our own purpose here, I'll show you this. So we'll reset this data. Okay. So as you can see inside of Kordis on your financial section, this is where you will have your actuals data. Then we will have your plan data, which will come from your financial model. So one of the benefits here is if you're not, as I said, an accountant or finance person, building a financial model is already a challenge, right? Getting the accounting logic correct, making sure it's all linking in Excel or Google Sheets, whatever you're doing. Then there's version control in Excel, setting multiple versions, not knowing which one's the latest. All the accounting logic is built into Kordis. So if you make a new revenue item, a new capital expenditure for equipment, a capital raise, any of that, all the accounting logic is built in, so it will automatically update everything, and your dashboard, all your metrics will update. You don't have to worry about linking anything if your accounting's right. You don't have to worry about a crazy complex model in Excel that you have to worry about breaking or updating or hire someone to update. All the accounting logic is built in here. So as you can see, currently no data in our financials, so pulling from QuickBooks. Very, very easy. Sync now. Kordis will sync, so you can also see the last time that you actually had a sync done. And when you go into the financial section now, as you can see, all of your data will be pulled. So this is very beneficial because, as I said, we'll make sure that we have all of your different categories here. If there is a category that's new or a category changes, we will automatically pull it in. So you don't need to have the naming matched up, etc. This will automatically pull in. Additionally, we will give you access to variance analysis. So if you would like to check how you're doing each month or year to date or whatever time period you're looking for, you can go into your variance analysis section and see our total revenue that we projected was 164,000, but unfortunately we only did 56. So you can go through and track this in terms of net income, revenue, cash, expenses, etc. See how you're doing every single month to give you really a lot of transparency inside of your business. So inside the financial models tab, I will reset this. One of our goals at Kordis was to give you decision tree based forecasting. So As opposed to Excel making it very open-ended and complex, we wanted to give you the very, very basics in the beginning and add more functionalities as we go. So for revenues, a startup that we work with, we are able to forecast revenues within 1% just based on a linear growth rate. So we've seen the effectiveness of using simplicity and not crazy complex formulas in still being very, very accurate for businesses with multiple locations, with millions of dollars in revenues. We're still able to get very, very close. And so that's why we're keeping it simple. So for example, let's say that we know that our starting revenues are about 150,000 and we think we'll grow about 1%. So we put starting in February, we'll grow 1% through January 2027. And so then last month it was 150,000. That's our starter. So this will automatically update. And as I said, then your dashboard will change. Everything will change as you start making these forecasts. Additionally, if you know that you have a specific revenue item, so let's just say that you know that you're doing an event. So you're in the events business, you know, you have a specific event you're doing and you just want a one-time, or you just want to keep a number constant. You can also do that. So we could keep this number for just February. We could reset this and we could do for February to January 20, we could just do 20,000. Whatever you want. So we're trying to make it so that it's simplified, guided, as easy as possible for you to update things and see some transparency on what's going on in your business. Additionally, what we wanted to do for the expenses and some of the other categories, so as you can see, we'll do the full suite of the income statement, we'll do the cash flow statement, and then everything will flow into on the balance sheet. You can't forecast cash, but I will show you your cash will be tracked here. So for gross margins, right, for a lot of businesses, you know what your cost of goods sold is and you know what your gross margin is. So we added a few different features on the expense side. This also carries to the cash flow statement. So if you know your specific gross margin, you can tell Kordis, hey, I know that we typically do about 60%. So I know my COGS has to be 1 minus that, right? The COGS percentage has to be 40 if the gross margin is 60. So I'll go to revenues, I'll apply that, and Kordis will automatically do the math. So you could do this because one of the things we found in our investment banking experience is a lot of the forecasting can be done based on percentages of variables. Payroll as a percentage of revenue, deferred revenue as a percentage of revenue. All these different operating expenses, a lot of the times go with how much revenue you have. Can you hire, et cetera. So this is the reason we have this. We also have averages. So if you know a specific average you want to use, or if you forecast the first 6 months, but then in month 7, you want to do an average or a moving average, right? So then you could do, I want a moving average. So I can look back X amount of months, take the average, apply that. So we're giving you decision tree-based forecasting so that you're able to very simplified, very guided way to make any projections into the future for your business, and then having your automated analysis. So as I said, when you go back to your financials tab, you'll have all your QuickBooks actuals in here. So this is going to be pulling all your different account names all the way down to your ending cash balance. And then as you can see, when you get up here, you're dealing with all of your planned amounts. So that's going to be all your forecast from your financial model. All those planned are going to come from here. All your actuals will be pulled from QuickBooks. So this is the idea for Kordis. And right now we're taking customers in beta. So we're only letting a few customers on. As we start to scale, we'll be letting more customers on. But as I said, we will also be managing your QuickBooks. If you're not on QuickBooks, we're more than happy to get you onto QuickBooks. But what we realized with Kordis is crap in is crap out. So we want you to have a tool that actually lets you make more effective decisions and planning. So for certain startups that have capital intensive businesses, we're able to say, if you do this, if you raise this, if you buy this, here's how your cash runway changes. And as I was mentioning, we give you scenarios. So what I highly recommend is you come in here and we build a financial model for you. If you have a current one, we will build it out into Kordis for you for free. We'll build out your financial model. And then what we can do is we can build a new one from scratch, or we could just duplicate this. So we can clone the model. It will then have the exact same assumptions that we had in the first one. And then we can play with different scenarios. What if we hire this person in Q2? What if we raise 20 times more than we thought? What if we raise 20 times less than we thought? So we let you play with different scenarios, and then you can update this in your variance analysis. You can update this in your financials tab. You can update this in your dashboard to any of your different scenarios, So you're able to see what's going on in the best case and the worst case anytime with Kordis, and the numbers will all be updated every single hour from your QuickBooks. So that is Kordis.